Alrighty, folks, travel advisory in effect. Hope everyone is staying safe and not, moving too much if they have to. It's obviously also a defeat Monday for the Buffalo Bills. It's a victory Monday for the Buffalo Bandits. Sabres are looking to make it 9 straight. We got a lot more to wrap up in 2025, and let's figure out if these Bills can win a Super Bowl. Let's go on Trainwreck today.
We all need a place where we can be ourselves, somewhere you can leave all your worries on the shelf, and whether you win or lose, you can count on me, and I can count on you. You know this train never stops. This train never stops. You know this train never stops. This train never stops. You know this train never stops. This train never stops. You know this train never stops. You know this train never stops.
Folks, welcome on in. It sounded like a kitchen calamity. Is that just me?
Yeah, there's some background noise here just as the show's starting.
I'm just making sure that I'm not like hearing things that's not happening on my end and I'm unaware. Okay, but welcome in to Trainwreck today. Travel advisory in effect for Erie County, a lot of the city of Buffalo, where we obviously reside, where our hearts beat out of. So we're making sure we are safe. We are at home. We are not in the studio for Bruckman Media, but we are live here on Herd of Buffalo, Trainwreck Sports. Trainwreck today, boys. Slick L on my side, depending on where you're watching, smart TV, phone, etc. Don holding it down on the anchor below. Boys, a tough defeat Monday here for the Buffalo Bills, falling 13-12 to Philly yesterday. Curious what's sticking out to you guys, because you've had unique experiences. Slick went to the game yesterday, and then he was kind of getting up after a late start today. So I'm curious what you're seeing, Slick, when you're looking around. And then, Don, you've kind of been taking it all in from a distance. So, Slick, why don't we start with your experience yesterday, in 30 to 45 seconds, and then what you're seeing today?
The first half of the day was great. It was smooth sailing. Lotcast, we got done, all weather excluded beforehand. And then it really started to pick up and hit and feel like you were kind of in the middle of a whirlwind, tsunami, whatever. Hardest rain we've had at a game in quite some time. Soaked going in, and not much to be happy about as the game went on from a fan perspective. So not the best day out in Orchard Park. I'm curious to know if it was any better for Don.
So I mean, obviously I'm in Vermont right now. We went into town into Montpelier. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Capital of Vermont, smallest capital in the US. Did some walking around. Was kind of just killing time till I could get this footage for the Lotcast. Now, I thought I was going to get it a lot earlier. I ended up going in a coffee shop, drinking some red wine, was getting a little nervous because I was told the clips were on the way. It took a little bit longer than I thought. I was like, are there tech issues? I shot you guys a text. I'm like, what the hell's going on? Are you uploading on a potato right now? What's happening? I was a little worried, a little frustrated. We got it out, all good. Was going to watch the first half from a nice little dive bar in Burlington, but my dad said he was queuing up some Salem's hot dogs. I'm like, I don't want to miss this. So went back home to watch with my dad, and pretty much got there right as the Josh Allen fumble pass controversy happened. So.
Yeah, I mean, I would say it was all smooth sailing, like you said, Slick, yesterday until that 12 o'clock window, as weather forecasters predicted, meteorologists, etc. Everything went into a tailspin for the next 6.5 hours, 7 hours. There was basically nothing for Buffalo Bills fans to cheer about in Orchard Park. So let's get into the game itself. Obviously, weather factor, is our first note here. I would say definitely when you look at like both offenses, like I think the Eagles are obviously much better than what they were able to achieve yesterday. But was it enough of a factor where the Bills don't score for the first 55 minutes? I think that falls more on the Buffalo Bills, their execution. Obviously, you have the Josh Allen turnover in the first half. The first half, I haven't even looked at the numbers yet, but I was pretty positive we had like 3 drives of 30-plus yards or more. So I was like, I was still kind of optimistic at halftime that we'd be able to kind of pull out of it and be a little bit more efficient on offense. But yeah, I mean, there was no way to be there sitting there at 12-0 at halftime and really put anything too positive. As much as we like to look on the bright side on this program, Slick.
Yeah, I love looking on the bright side. Fans were doing that yesterday. Prior to the game, not much to look on to the bright side, especially in that first half. Weather being the factor, whether or not. Ooh, double entendre there. Didn't really intend for that to happen. But McDermott, second half adjustments maniac, prove to be a storyline yet again. We just have this strange habit, it feels like, of no first half offense. And then McDermott has to go and steal the show again in the second half and put us all through the ringer in terms of stress level.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, shout out to the Instagram chat. People are popping over there. We got some comments. Josh Allen can't live up to his name these days. Joe Brady needs to be fired. Joe Brady needs to be fired. They better hire Brian Dable or we're screwed. Bright side is at least we got to be in the stadium before it's gone. People are feeling bleak over in our Insta chat. But if you told me going into this game we held the Eagles to 13 yards or 13 points in the whole game and kind of shut down Barkley, I'm feeling great. I'm saying, okay, so this was a blowout. Not the case. Not the case at all. Not getting your first touchdown until 6 minutes left in the game. I mean, that's a brutal way to play football. I don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but we missed the extra point. Now we go for it on a fourth down, don't get it, go for it and Josh Allen gets stopped short. We're inside their 30 a couple times. Do we think these are some kicker woes that we're not, taking the points when we have the opportunity?
Well, so that's everyone's thing that they're caught up on at the end of the game. Why would you go for it? Eagles offense 0 for 7 or whatever, not like 12 yards in the second half. To me, so it comes down to, I know we have a talking point here too, if the kick was that extra point was a low kick or a great block. Either way, clearly McDermott had not enough confidence in Michael Badgley going down the stretch in that situation to where he thought it was a better idea to go and win the game. I'm not arguing with the call. He clearly lost the confidence quickly in Michael Badgley. And now look, we have 20 minutes breaking post news. Michael Badgley's already out the door at one Bills drive. So clearly McDermott was not kicking again with him after this.
I agree that he wasn't kicking with him, but I think McDermott also was a little bit drunk on when we went for the touchdown against the Bengals and we had the Jackson Hawes play. It felt like that. We didn't need to go for this 2-point conversion. We're kind of out of ourselves. Obviously the McDermott, this goes back to where we were though. The second half adjustments by McDermott put the Eagles in a phone booth. They couldn't do anything on offense. The Eagles fan in front of me was saying, it won't matter. You guys are going to drive for 2 touchdowns. We can't move the ball anyway. That was exactly what happened. It just didn't go down the way he thought it would with 2 extra points being made. So when you get the Badgley miss on the XP, obviously the air comes out of the stadium because you're still down a full 7 points. But you scored the touchdown. I mean, I get that, you don't have confidence because the one was just blocked, but you absolutely stymied the Philadelphia Eagles offense the entire second half and really for most of the game. Their touchdown drive was on a short field. They had a couple of chip shot field goals. They weren't exactly monster drives. I think the one drive had 4 third down conversions, which isn't exactly great operating offense. So when you look at everything, I don't hate Josh Allen missing the throw as much as I do looking back hate that we couldn't have enough confidence to kick an extra point and just keep dominating their offense like we were for much of the second half, obviously. So now we're 2 weeks out from the playoffs, or we could be playing a playoff game potentially in 12 days And the Buffalo Bills technically don't have a kicker. Could Prater be a guy coming back into play? I saw Eric Wood tweeting that his son could be the next kicker. Listen, I'll take anyone if they could just make from inside 40 at this point.
How old is Wood's son?
Oh, he's old enough to party. That's what it looks like.
Okay, well then I think he's old enough to sign an NFL contract if need be. But,
Yeah,
I just don't know.
And just getting into like the bigger picture, just of like the fourth quarter, like the lack of urgency by the offense. I get they scored two touchdowns, but I couldn't believe it. Like I couldn't believe like how nonchalant. There was a play. I mean, I know that there's a methodology and everything, and Joe Brady draws up some stuff at times, like the hook and ladders and the stuff that's like amazing, incredible. Some of the play action work is really good. There's a lot of things that stand out, and he does well. But like when we're running, I think it was like 2nd and 10, 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go, and we're down 7 at like our own 25-yard line, and we run Ty Johnson for a yard. And nobody is like trying to get a playoff before the 2-minute warning. Like, I know that we were probably telling ourselves like, well, we're trying to run it down and not like get like, essentially like give Philadelphia the ball back. But who cares if you give Philadelphia the ball back at this point? They're not scoring. There was just no urgency the entire like second half, when it felt like really coming out of the second half, you should be in no huddle. You should be trying to do dynamic new things to set off the defense. Instead, when the Bills like were getting looks at and the Eagles were getting looks at the line up front, they were able to put pressure on Josh Allen. So there were just a lot of frustrating little things. Obviously, the most frustrating is that your MVP quarterback misses a throw to your essentially number one wide receiver, Khalil Shakir, where Khalil Shakir got open with the game on the line, and Josh Allen makes that throw 9 times out of 10. You can be absolutely frustrated about that. To me, it's more frustrating that our defense seems to be playing better, and now our offense isn't like, operating. Like, we're not playing 3 phases of football. We didn't have 2 phases of football yesterday. We essentially just had our defense, and the offense had a pulse with 10 minutes to go. So a lot of frustration all over the board. I think it's easiest for Bills fans to be like, Josh Allen making the throw is it, or dumb decision making, etc. I mean, McDermott. How about McDermott with the challenge yesterday? I don't think that was an obvious challenge at that point in the game. Instead, he fires it out and kind of gets us a swing play. So there were things that you were happy about, but like there's just so much to be frustrated about, and it just kind of puts a cloud of question marks all over this potential run, boys.
So much to be mad about as well in terms of repeating offenses, like these wide receiver screens from one Joe Brady.
Yeah, I mean,
down the stretch hook. Oh,
I have a small take on these though.
Hold on. The sequence that you mentioned is like, for me, the epitome. And again, that was the sequence that had the 4th down hook and ladder, like great play. Like, but that exemplified for me the problem sometimes with Brady, and he seems to be calling the game backwards. We have a wide receiver screen on 1st down, nothing. 2nd and 10, we run a draw play up the middle, nothing. 3rd and 10, we run another screen. I mean, why not if we're going to run the ball, run it first, get a couple easy yards. I don't hate screens. I love a halfback screen where you get the big boys in front. You risk, an eligible guy downfield if you don't time it right. But we just don't have big enough guys to nail these wide receiver screens. And it's I mean when you have everyone, throwing their hands up at this, it's crazy. Nonchalantness, even with 7 minutes left, we should be going, hurry up, and we're burning 30 seconds off the play clock every single time. I don't get it. You have this speed offense that's supposed to be there. And then, people in Insta chat are asking about the 2. We mentioned it. I'm going to give my 2 cents on the 2-point. I don't hate the call. I liked it a lot, but it's like a catch. I didn't like the call because I didn't have faith in our kicker. It was more like, I think we had the guys to do this, and this is where we thrive. The play was there. Josh didn't make it. Now, the real question is, this game reminded me so much of the Texans game, where Josh just was not seeing open guys, was not making right decisions. And I think people have figured it out, where you rush 4 if you got the D-line to do it, you pressure him that way and lock everyone up, and you're going to cause problems for him. Because that
was the thing. Like what? Like Josh Allen, I'm not. We put him on a pedestal around here. Superman, put on the cape, etc. I don't think it ever. I'm not contradicting what you said. It's just like it's very easy to say like missing open receivers. It was the 4-man rush that was just constantly getting to Josh Allen and making him uncomfortable in that pocket for sure. Like how many teams can do that in the NFL? Probably like 4 to 6 at the rate the Eagles were doing it yesterday for sure. But it was super effective because 55 minutes with no points for Bills offense. Enough said.
Yeah, and I mean, again, he sees they're rushing 4, and in his mind, he's like, oh, I can get out of this. How many times do they bring pressure with 4 guys? I can extend the play, get out of that. And that's where you just run into trouble. Like when he ran us out of field goal range, 20 yards backwards on a 4-man rush. It's like lots of times he can escape that, but tip your cap. And that's the thing. These, when we get into if they can win the Super Bowl, I don't love our chances against the Texans. I do like our chances in a rematch against the Eagles. I don't like our chances against the Seahawks or a Rams that have a great deep front too. So yeah, it's tough, especially when we've had wide receiver trouble all year. If people are just going to drop 4 and try to pressure him, we're in trouble.
With the lack of urgency too in the last 7 minutes, even last drive, do we think that comes back to McDermott and clock management? Like he's expecting to score with the Eagles with their backs against the wall and end the game right there? Is that does it come back to McDermott?
I mean, it definitely comes back to McDermott because it's a pyramid scheme. Like everything funnels up to him for sure. He's at the top of it. Under him in that pyramid is.
Do you think that was his goal with the lack of urgency in the last bit of the game?
No, I really don't think. I don't think.
Clock and win it.
I don't think he had his hand on it like that for sure. I think he was deferring to what Joe Brady and co wants to do. I think once the game begins, he doesn't input much on the offensive side of the ball. Like he might hang out, make a input or two, but I don't think he really. I think he pretty much puts the headset up. Should Allen have taken the 2-point himself? Definitely. If they had been more aggressive, that was the thing. If I have a bone to pick with the 2-point play, everything about it was executed well. Khalil ran a great route on the linebacker to fake in and go outside. It was definitely open by NFL standards. It was a tough throw. I don't think any of us is making that throw, but. I think 20 or 30 NFL quarterbacks might be making that throw.
I think that's a throw where weather heavily comes into factor.
I agree, but you got to make that adjustment. It's been raining all day.
100%. It's also
but my
pressure and stuff. By the way, Julie Star, hello. I am also not dry. My feet are still frozen solid. So.
Yeah, are we going to talk about this? By the way,
we can. Yeah, so I have boots that I've had for 8 years. And they're split open at the heel. They're supposed to be waterproof. They're very much not waterproof. Like McDermott, I made a halftime game day tailgate adjustment and took off the jacket.
Well, you got phoned in from the booth because you were about to self-implode.
Took off I don't think it was like that. Took off the socks, put on some fuzzier socks, bags over the socks to prevent water. It could only do so much. I thought I was going to get hypothermia in that game and may or may have not left during the third quarter.
Yeah.
It's when you have a leak in the shoe, it's deadly. At the 49ers game last year, if you remember, I left the game day tailgate early. I didn't leave the game early. I left the tailgate early, though, because I went in the car, took off my socks, blasted the heat with my socks up against the vents because I needed dry feet or I was going to, be in real trouble.
Yeah,
so you got to take
one, but 2 very wet feet. And if you have wet feet, you're not getting warm anytime.
That's what Bandit Brothers taught you. Always bring an extra pair of socks and keep your feet warm.
Yeah,
for sure.
It was very hard to do so yesterday. Hopefully we can just get some snow next week for a 4:30 tilt rather than freezing rain.
All credit to my girlfriend. She saved your ass on that halftime adjustment, or else you wouldn't have even made it into the game.
Yeah, I don't know how she saw through the playbook on that one. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, well, we could tell you were shivering. Listen, we've heard all season from you how you were built different, but listen, Mother Nature undefeated. Father Time, Mother Nature never lost.
Wet feet can get to anybody.
100%. That's a fact. That's the great equalizer for sure. All right. Well, speaking of the great equalizer, Bills will be back in action. 4:25 p.m. game. for the Jets finalizer. Seems like Josh Allen will be taking a snap and then coming out of this game. So he'll get a week of rest for the foot. And then it'll be 3 straight road games likely, depending on if they get the 6th seed. Like if a team like the Chargers makes a run out of the 7, could potentially be looking at an AFC Championship home game. But that's that for the Bills side of things. Can this team win a Super Bowl? I mean, I think the answer always just goes back to 17, right? Because now we've seen the defense kind of become a little bit better these last couple weeks. That's why the only thing putting in the question has been the offense, in my opinion, the last 2.5 weeks or so.
I think this just goes along with your sentiment all year, like that this is the year, the stars aligned. This is the perfect storybook alignment for Josh Allen to go and prove all the doubters wrong from the 7 seed, defy all the odds. His storybook ending.
And it only added to the brutalness of this year. The brutality of this year is Rhea Ripley-esque. So
yeah,
most
I also
definitely
gotta ask you guys, when all the red helmet buzz started to pick up, I'm not talking like this past off season. We all know that what happened there. Like 5 years ago, I don't know, when it really started to buzz again, the fans really started asking for it. Did you ever think that the first quarterback you would see with these red helmets back on is probably going to be Mitchell Trubisky in this game?
After Josh Allen takes his first snap handoff, yes.
Well, yeah, but and then
can't wait to see Mitch. Can't wait to see him kissing titties out there,
dude. Cousin Mitch in the red helmets. It's going to be cinema.
Yeah. It is.
So, question of can the Bills win the Super Bowl? I'm going to rewind just a little bit. I think I've kind of come down to earth a little bit. I had a real coming to God or coming to the Bills reality yesterday of what expectations before the season and now. And
Kay Huffy thinks they will win it this year. Just saying before you
big.
No,
big.
This might take a second, so bear with me. Now, if you told me preseason, Bengals were out, almost halfway through the season. The Ravens are fighting for a spot at 8-8. Chiefs are done, and the Bills don't win in the first seed. I would have kind of been like, "What the hell happened?" Now we're facing a Patriots team with his first year in the building, not only winning the division, but potentially winning a first seed overall, the first year they won the division in 5 years. In the 5 years the Bills won the AFC East, they're the only team in history to never go to a Super Bowl. It's tough for me not to see this year, especially as the last one in a stadium, as a partial failure, not to get the 1 seed, especially given those teams that we lost to. So it's hard to shake that feeling when I kind of came back down to earth about winning in a Super Bowl. Can it be done? I think the NFL is so competitive this year. Anyone can do it. I really do. I think it's really who's healthy and who can make a run. So yes, I think the Bills can win a Super Bowl. However, I'm going in knowing what could have been. That this could have been a number 1 seed in our house in our last year where we could have really walked our way to the Super Bowl. And that was a giant missed opportunity, unfortunately. Now, I'm not Mr. Debbie Downer. Let's gear up for the playoffs. Let's stay healthy in the last game, see what we can do. Let's try to avoid the Texans because I don't think we match up against them. Anyone else in the AFC I think we can take. My dream scenario was that we could be seed number 7 and play the Patriots in the first round with them at 2. That's not possible now because the only way that happens is if the only way we're 7 is if Broncos and Houston win, and if Broncos win, they're the first seed. Right? So would that and then or wait, what'd that put us against New England?
I think we're, as of now, aren't we slated to be the 7 against New England?
No,
Okay.
6. Or no, 2? Or no, we are the 7. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yes, we are. You're right.
As of now, we're going to Foxborough.
Or wait, no, that would be as the 7, right? Hold on. I was looking at this scenario earlier. Don't we stay the 7 if the Chargers win though? And then that would bump the Patriots into the first seed.
If the Chargers win and we win, New England would get bumped into the 1 seed. We would be the 6th seed going to Jacksonville. But hold on, the story grows. If Denver wins, that bumps us. If Denver wins over LA, that bumps us to the 5, going to Pittsburgh, and bumps New England down to the 2, hosting Herbert and the Chargers. Harbaugh would be a hell of a matchup.
That's what I mean. I would have loved, this sounds crazy, I would have loved to play the Patriots in the first round. I think it's mathematically like not possible, right?
If we lose to the Jets and all that stuff stays the same, we would.
True. Yeah, I guess if we lose, so because that's what have me feeling the most positive about a Super Bowl run. Come into Foxborough, knock out the number 2, take care of business. You know, show the NFL that you're not going to be fucked with after beating them in the big comeback, and that's like my dream first round matchup. Actually, I don't want to play the Texans. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I've got a new dream first matchup after this past weekend. We got to go back into Pittsburgh and start the run. This would be the dream bracket for me.
Yes,
this would be my dream bracket.
I want to go to Pittsburgh too, but like they just screwed themselves.
How did they just screw it? Because they couldn't beat Cleveland. We just beat Cleveland easy.
Yeah, but they're now Pittsburgh as of right now is out of the playoff picture.
Yeah, but I just moved these.
It comes down to them in Baltimore. Week 18 coming up.
Exactly.
So it could be us versus Baltimore. Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I hate it.
Why?
I'd rather play the Patriots in Baltimore.
Absolutely not. The Patriots.
I'd rather play the Steelers and Ravens.
We've got the Ravens number. We've got the Ravens number.
Match up way better against the Patriots.
We haven't
the first game they only beat us by 3 with 3 turnovers.
And the second game they blew our doors off in the first half.
We haven't gone into Baltimore in a playoff scenario.
True, but we're 2-0 in the playoffs against them, and Josh Allen just doesn't lose to them.
It was in the beginning of this year, and how things have dwindled down at the end of the season.
They're arguably worse. They're arguably worse now than they were at the beginning of the year. We might be getting back Ed Oliver.
In all likelihood, we're probably not going to see the Patriots unless we do lose. I don't see us losing to the Jets, even with backups, red helmets in the last game of the stadium. So
we kind of got into the rest of the NFL there. Let's go to the NFC side real quick. Meow Mix with just, again, the Seahawks are no slouch, but tough letdown spot. So now Meow Mix is at 8-8, but they still control their own destiny. Kind of unbelievable.
Yeah, it comes, and here's the crazy thing. So it's them and the Bucks for the division, right? But here's the thing: the Bucks can win and still be out because the tiebreaker is divisional record. God. And the chaos thing is if the Falcons lose tonight, then lose to the Saints next week, Meow Mix is in, no matter what happens.
I'm not gonna lie, like I rooted for them, then I hated. I kind of want to see Meow Mix make the playoffs now. I'm kind of back on the train.
Wait, so what's the chaos situation with Meow Mix you're saying?
The Falcons have to lose tonight, right?
They have to lose tonight and lose against the Saints next week. I believe that's what I read. Let me get real quick confirmation on that.
And that would mean,
oh my God! If
they don't even need to win. Yeah.
So yeah, I just plugged that into the machine.
Oh, they
for
don't
both
even
these.
need to win either for that to happen?
So and it's not unlikely that the Falcons lose.
And you're saying the Bucks could win and not avoid that?
So this bracket is with the Buccaneers winning and the Atlanta losing the next 2 weeks. So again, like you said, Carolina could lose and still be in.
What
a pathetic division! If anything, this needs to show you need a re-bracketing after Wild Card Weekend, based on record for sure. I think there's no doubt.
And the wild thing is, again, Rams 11-4 haven't clinched a playoff spot. So they need to win tonight, too. They're in third in their division at 11-4.
Dude, that's crazy. That's actually insane. And they're only a 7-point favorite tonight. Falcons, spoiler spot? This has been a crazy NFL season.
Yeah.
Crazy
Well,
NFL
that's
season
what I
for
mean.
sure.
Is it's like the Bills they don't look as dominant all the time, but no one does. Like, I mean, you just saw, the Browns beat the Steelers. Shout out, Lock It In Liz.
To put a bow on let's just keep going through our Lock It In Liz was 9-0 last week.
Heater.
I don't know.
I need a better word.
If you took $1,000 and rolled it over on each bet, do you know how much you'd have? 550 grand.
There's $500,000. Wow.
Yeah.
Hope she's doing that.
Yeah, I mean, listen, she's living good. I think she's in Turks and Caicos after that big weekend. So we'll see
where all Polymarket's money's coming from.
We'll be. Yeah, I mean, listen, that's you always get the best price on Polymarket, so that's where she's locking in. Speaking of locking in, the Sabres. I was traveling a little bit on Saturday night during the game. I had to listen in on the radio. You could feel the arena shaking through the radio on some of these plays, some of these goals. What a second period as the Sabres score a whole bunch, take advantage, and take a big lead that they eventually turn into a victory over the Bruins. And now we're back in action tonight, Don.
Yeah, and I mean, I joked about it. Sold out crowd, perfect time for a 5-0 loss. Then we see Dahlin's stuck out of the country, and he's not playing. And it says, will they be able to hold out? First period, they didn't look bad, but it wasn't commanding. Pasta had a good goal. I can't really be mad about a snipe like that from a weird angle. And then, they just took control, never looked back. Samuelson, I mean, what a turnaround from last year.
Oh, my goodness.
Samuelson, this is just proof to me, though, that confidence in sports is everything, because the second he got hot, he's just been staying hot.
Yeah, I mean, not only scoring goals, setting up plays, the physical play, this is what we've been looking for from a guy like him out of defense. And I'm going to give some credit where it's due. I've been hating on Owen Power hard for years, especially the last couple of games. He had a good game. He had a couple rushes. Now he had a couple rushes where he could have gotten a nifty goal. It was all Swedish, no finish, as my dad used to say, where he just buries it right into the chest of the goalie. But I liked what I saw, and I'd love for him to continue to prove me wrong. And tonight, a Blues team. This is another take care of business spot. Take care of business.
This is a big TCB spot for sure. And everyone's going to be sipping Dahlin as he's back in the lineup tonight.
My thing with Owen Power, Don, is like we always have known like he can join the rush and be good on the offensive side of things. Like it's always been defensive awareness and lack of physicality for me in terms of Owen Power that I'm just not confident in. Still got to see some more of that, but I do agree he had a good game. Big take care of business spot tonight. Sabres, -1? I want to say 70.
120. Some small favorite.
Whoa.
Again, the Sabres are in that classic spot where they've won a bunch of games, and Vegas is hedging every game against them, so it's fine. Yeah. They were only a small favorite over the Bruins. They dominated them. It was a blowout after the second period. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I mean, the opportunity to make it 9 straight, 9 times winning, so amazing for the Sabres. Now in a virtual tie for that wild card. So just so much excitement. And I will say, and I'll be the first to testify, the Bandits winning last night, the Sabres playing well. It does make a defeat Monday for the Bills in late December a little bit easier. That's all I'm going to say. It's just when you got a little something else sports-wise to fall back on, Slickaroonie.
Yeah, agreed. I think if this Sabres game was at home tonight, we would have the 6th sellout of the season at KeyBank because everyone would be looking for a little pick me up on Monday in the form of the Buffalo Sabres. With that being said, I think all Buffalo will have their eyes on that game tonight. 8 p.m. For St. Louis in the Western Conference, not too shabby. So no typical Sabres after dark. You'll be able to get your beauty sleep after this one. But yeah, big tilt. Looking for 9. And then if you can go in, like we were talking about, Maniac, if you can go into Dallas.
Oh, get me to the morning of New Year's Eve. Sabres 9 straight wins. Bills with Michael Prater, full rehab and back in the lineup. Banditos feeling great. UB with another win under their belt in MAC play. It's exactly what we're talking about. And listen, we're looking at the long game here with the Sabres. I think we started when it was 50 games to go, and they were 9 points out of first place in the Atlantic. So if you look now with Detroit at 40 games, Tampa Bay and Montreal at 38. The virtual lead in the division, I would say, is about 46.5 points, looking at the amount of points that these teams have. So 46.5, we're 4.5 points out of first. Now, Don, with 45 games to play still.
Yeah, and I mean, you said get us to Dallas, take care of business tonight. Dallas is a great
TCB.
team, but I think we can match up. And then to round out this 3-game road trip, you have another take care of business spot, Columbus.
Yeah.
Definitely
Seriously.
need to go 2-1, but I think it's not off the table to go 3-0 and get us to 11. And you said you wanted to see 12 straight, and then we're going back home for number 12.
That would be.
I don't want to get too ahead of ourselves, but
Hosting Vancouver too.
I'm saying what I want. Yeah, in Vancouver, I mean, they just shipped away Quinn Hughes. They're kind of
That's kind of like a
dead
take
right
care
now.
of business spot, especially coming back home from a road trip as well.
Yeah, and they're coming all the way from the other side of the country. Yeah.
Yep.
So go Sabres, like you said. Great to have that happen and Bandits win. It eases the pain of the Bills, and again, like last night's game, it was for pride. It was I think we all, not even just Bills fans. Everyone kind of hates Nick Sirianni in Philly, so it's hard swallowing a loss to them. But all is well in Saberhood. So
Yeah, I know it really is. The only thing Sabres fans are bitching about right now are the wait for beer Sabres. So that's actually an absolutely great place for the org to be in. Speaking of the org, in a great spot. Finally in the 5th week of the season for the NLL, but the Banditos get their 3rd game under their belt, and they get a win. They get a 13-7 victory, I believe it was, in Calgary. 3 dominant quarters out of the Banditos in this one, just textbook championship caliber action. Another Hattie for Daner. Dane Smith is just like fine wine. An 9-point game, Slick.
So we were only 3 games in. Dana's 10 goals. That means he's on pace for 50 plus goals on the season. For context, last year he had 31 and still had 134 points. I mean, that would be an absurd amount. Obviously, I'm not going to say he's going to keep averaging a hat trick or more a game, but Dane Smith on another MVP pace record season. By the way, too, last year led the league in assists with 103. What is he currently at? Let's see.
Yeah, and again, it's not like it's some up and comer who's like playing out of their mind or something. This is Dane Smith, league MVP, guy who might just be reaching a whole other level with his performance. So super happy to see that. It kind of got lost in the kerfuffle of yesterday, the Sabres winning on Saturday night, but obviously huge for the Banditos to pick up that win. They'll be back in action quick. January 3rd. That's going to see our friend Mr. Frazier. Slick.
Yeah, that'll be a good one. Klutch and Frazier coming back to Bandit Land. I'm sure they'll get a warm welcome, probably a tribute video for sure as well. I know they were there with the boys on ring night as their season started a little later. But yeah, that'll be a big tilt. Desert Dogs had high expectations coming into the season, signing those two. And we definitely missed their offensive production in Bandit Land. But it'll be good to welcome them back. You probably find us in the arena for that one.
Yeah, most likely I will. So when the Bandits are there, so will we. So always keep an eye out in Bandit Land for us. Rest of the weekend, listen, I'm crushing Stranger Things. I'm into season 2. Looking forward to seeing what we're getting out of 11. I'm a little nervous for Will Byers here in season 2. We found him in season 1. Spoiler alert, but excited for what we got in season 2.
I think the only one you're spoiling at this point is me, because like everyone has seen it, but you at this point.
I haven't seen it, but I have no intention of watching it. So
yeah.
How about that? How about the rest of that Saturday though? Pretty slick. 7 bowl games.
Yeah, pretty crazy. The 2 NFL games as well. just a lot of football, slick action all over the board, not just the weather, folks.
Someone made a good point, though, from this past weekend. We haven't had a time to recap this yet. I think it was like the NFL should have put 2 games on Friday. Like that ended up being an empty day versus spamming them on Christmas. Like I missed one of the Christmas games because I was like just busy with family. Like too many games on Christmas. There should have been 2 on Christmas and there should have been 1 on Friday night. Spread them up a little bit.
Oh my God. South Carolina State and Prairie View went to 4 overtimes.
Hey, it happens, man. Classic.
Speaking of bowl games, we got the J-Lab Birmingham Bowl underway right now. Georgia Southern up 13-7 on App State in the third.
Over under was 60, and they've already got 26 points on the board. Just halfway through the game. All right, I'm an idiot.
We got an Insta comment. I don't know if you guys saw, but I saw Byrne limping mid first quarter, but he did seem fine for the rest of the game. From Cozio 1235. I didn't really see what happened. Just wondering if you guys saw that.
Didn't see anything in the post game. Didn't see it because I was literally driving back from the game while this game was starting and getting underway. Got there for the second half, tracked it online. Obviously, especially when the Banditos were pulling away, but didn't see anything in the post game. Typically, when you have a player of Burns' caliber hurt. Now, I will say this: I'm not like exactly leaking any info when I say that Josh Byrne was knocked up a lot of last year. He was taking a lot of physical contact. He still was able to play at an MVP level, but that's just something that a Josh Byrne's got to adapt to. There's one way to stop a Josh Byrne and Dane Smith. You got to knock their ass on the ground. You're not gonna beat them by trying to defend them stick to stick or body to body. You've got to knock them down. You got to make them uncomfortable. Those guys are used to it, and believe me, those guys have great training teams and everything behind the scenes. So. Obviously we'll keep an eye on it, but that's just something in the world of Josh Byrne and Dane Smith, we're going to have to get used to. It's on the rest of the Banditos to score when they get their opportunities, truly. And that's what they've been doing through 2 of these 3 games so far. I just found this out this morning. Again, this got lost in yesterday to me. Like I was between avoiding the rain and everything. If I wasn't recording a video, my phone was in my pocket essentially, or getting ready for, Lockcast or whatever. So the battle of the sexes actually occurred.
Yeah, this snuck up on us.
Yeah, we had Kyrgios versus Sabalenka. I mean, this is a pretty big deal, because we always talk about this as a fantasy sports situation. Kyrgios wins in straight sets, 6-3, 6-3. They played on the smaller court to give Sabalenka an advantage, and first set was just, or missed serve was just a point. It wasn't a fault. So that way Kyrgios couldn't hit like bomb serves after bomb serves, like just faulting or whatever. But are you surprised by this? This seems like pretty much like what was expected out of it, but it's always cool to see.
I'm not surprised by the result. I am surprised that it wasn't the amount Nick Kyrgios was sweating. It looks like he should have won with donuts on the board. So I'm not sure how hard Sabalenka was going as opposed to Kyrgios, but I'm not surprised. I knew Kyrgios was going to take this pretty seriously. He's like that kind of bloke. So not terribly surprised by the result, but definitely cool, like fantasy matchup. But yeah, dude, oh my God. Like, dude looked like he got out of the pool.
Yeah.
Might just be a sweaty guy. I don't know. I know some people like that. Yeah.
Yeah, he's also, I don't want to say he's out of shape. Like, I guess he's gearing back for an early 2026 return, but Kyrgios is a curious guy. He had the legal cases, so a lot of people are split on him because that clearly Arina Sabalenka had no problem like agreeing to a business deal with him to do this match. So I think that speaks to like the relationship that other women tennis people see with him, that we should probably extrapolate that to our opinions. But listen, this just got me excited for tennis to be back. I can't wait for tennis and golf in 3 or 4 months. It'll be back on our TVs for sure, especially when you have a day like today with travel advisories. Hope everyone, whether they had to work from home or if they were just staying at home today, staying safe, staying warm here on the Trainwreck Sports Herd of Buffalo Network.
Speaking of
dream boats, I was going to say vacation.
Well, real quick, speaking of travel advisors, did you see former mayor of New York, Eric Adams' comments about incoming storm?
No, I did not.
So he pretty much said like, hey, New Yorkers, we got an incoming storm. Stay home. And he said, storms are basically, this is a paraphrase, storms are a great time for making love.
Ah.
So Yeah, hopefully if you're able to, anyone is participating in that. It was I don't know, it was memed all over the internet this weekend. I thought it was funny and right on par with the type of guy he is.
Yeah.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong. That's why
Yeah,
you have
no,
lots of
it's
summer
kind of like that meme, like that strange person makes a good point.
Yeah. Yeah. But so my weekend recap, like I said, went to Montpelier. So hard to say. I hope I'm saying it right. Heading to Burlington, snowed in here myself. Just kicking back, relaxing. You might see a little stout, just something heavy and soft to make me feel nice and warm. And yeah, just having a good weekend. I watched the Sabres game up here. Luckily, I got I'm staying with my dad, but he has this kind of separate like apartment with own TV and bed and kitchen and stuff, so I can hang with him. But if we both need some time, just some privacy, that's nice, and that's where I'm doing the show from right now. The side apartment. Although Cheech is in here. Cheech is looking at me.
All right, so tell us about the kitchen situation. Yeah, what the hell happened?
Is she running rampant in the kitchen?
Well, I told her we were doing the show at 2:30, and so she ran out at 2:30. Obviously, we got a little delayed, and so I think she came back half an hour, being like checking in on the show. She's making tea. I don't really know exactly what was happening, but
I'm making tea.
Yeah, yeah. No. Haley came back in and was rummaging around. I don't know. I got this new mic, so apparently it picks up more than I thought. But it has a reverb dial, so I can go into God mode.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Another example of dreamboat aura farming on Trainwreck.
Listen, it does. Listen, it makes total sense. Whether it was the production time today for the couple videos we're getting uploaded, but yesterday in the lot with Gatesdale Building, nothing is working December 26th to December 31st. Doesn't matter whether you're a remote employee. Everyone is mailing it in for this last week for sure. So we're all mailing it in. What?
Holiday season extends to New Year's.
Yeah, we need to come up with something for this week because it's the fakery of people trying to work and stuff is crazy.
No, like make it a half week. Like no, just stop. We're done. Like we're packing it in. We're packing it in. We'll see you at the Ralph on Sunday for the Red Helmet game. Like
I will say, I'll admit when I was wrong. I was adamant about doing the show in studio the 26th. I was like, I don't want to do remote shows. This is kind of nice, guys. This is kind of nice. It's a bit relaxing. I feel like we're going even longer because we're all in our own homes. There's no rush to go anywhere.
In Vermont drinking a stout, dude. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
it's nice.
So, you guys wanted to do it remote too. So, like, we were forced to today. I'm just gonna say I'm gonna be more open to that in the future. It's not bad. I know Slick's probably not wearing pants. So yeah.
Don't call him out. Speaking of being called out, let's call out who's hot and who's not. Before we get into the week ahead, let's call out who's hot, who's not, courtesy of our friends Salino Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric. Who's hot? Listen, for the first 4 weeks of the season, I kept putting the San Francisco 49ers in my top 5 NFL power ranking teams. You guys were all calling me a big, stupid, dumb idiot. And while that might be the case, the bottom line is when Brock Purdy is at the head of the team. I didn't even think Brock Purdy was this good, to be honest, in the years past when they always put him on a pedestal. But they're definitely a different team when he is headlining the show. 42 points against Chicago last night. Crazy game. San Francisco's hot as hell. Like they said, like Don said, they've got the Rams in an absolute, blender in the NFC West over there. So credit to Brock Purdy for honestly proving me wrong and being a high-quality quarterback to even a level that I didn't expect. What was not high quality and who's my not for today is this Bills first half offense. If you go back to New England game, if you go back to much of the Cleveland first half, even though they put up, I think, like 17 or 20 points that first half, it was very sloppy. It wasn't exactly well-executed offense. And then yesterday, shutout. So we got to figure out this first half offense, especially because the Bills are so strong in the second half that if the first half offense gets executing, we could be in an absolute power position for a playoff run. So it's a not, but it could potentially become electric, which is always courtesy of our friends at Salino. Slick, what do you got?
I just want to address this real quick. I'm not actually pantsless, but my hot is one only venue to the host of the defending back-to-back-to-back champions, as well as the hockey team on an 8-game win streak. KeyBank Center, it's the place to be. 5 sellouts, including this past home game. That is already more than the last season at the KeyBank Center. We know Bandit Land does their part, but it's good to see Sabres packing the barn as well. Hopefully we can get back home against Vancouver, crossing my fingers, still on that win streak and sell out some more games and get those beer Sabres back before spring, because that's kind of ridiculous. My not, kind of addressed it earlier in the rest of the NFL picture. The Steelers, they really had a prime position. I know, like, we laid out the playoff picture and stuff, but you went and laid an egg against the Browns. Aaron Rodgers, old man, does it again on 4th down, gets his pass batted down game. You really had a chance to, I don't want to say lock up playoff spot, but it's going to be a lot harder to get past Baltimore than it is Cleveland for your remaining matchup there. So not for the Steelers, especially. I'm biased because I would have loved to go to Pittsburgh and play them, because I think that's a great matchup for the Bills. But that is my who's hot and who's not. Don?
There's still a possibility that could happen again.
Which possibility?
Pittsburgh for the Bills.
Yeah, no, I know we could still go, but it was it would have been pretty solidified if they got a win yesterday.
Yeah, well, we will see. All right, so for my who's not, all the NHL podcasters and insiders were saying he's not, Kevin Adams isn't the only one gone. It's also the guy behind the bench. Ooh, it's starting to dump snow out here. Lindy, speaking of dumping, the guy dumping W's, dumping absolute W's on the city of Buffalo. I mean, he's not just hot because he's winning, but the timeline is filled with people posting old clips of him saying, "Why am I still in Buffalo? To win a Stanley Cup. That's the only reason."
Oh my God, chills.
Yeah, everyone is hyped. Everyone's about it. He's got the guys playing exactly how we want. And yes, I've been talking about 1-goal game wins, defensive play. All of that is the Lindy style. He's getting it done. Faith in the goalie. UPL is playing great. But most importantly, last game, Saturday night against the Browns, they beat a team and they manhandle a team they're supposed to. This wasn't a 1-goal game. They only let in 1, but they played great offense, locked down D, and most importantly, he's got the boys inspired. I see how they play, how they have each other's backs, the physical play, how excited they are when they win and when someone scores a goal. That is all culture and coaching, and I truly believe he's turned it around in his second year on his second tour.
Josh Norris looking like a second goalie out there on Saturday night.
No stick, no problem.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, when have you seen guys giving up the body and blocking shots like that? We see our goal scorers, guys like Tage do
body
that.
For just passes across the crease too when they do have a stick. I mean, the gut is just unmatched from last
I'll just say this team isn't selling out. They're buying in to what Lindy is putting forward.
Yep. But you know who's not buying in? And this is kind of not just personal feelings, but it's all over the chat. It's all over Instagram. It's all over Twitter. Joe Brady.
No.
On the hot seat. Now, again, we couldn't complain some games because they were just getting it done when it mattered. But an offense that has the MVP putting up only 12 points. I mean, that's just abysmal. Some of this play calling, some of the inconsistency. But yeah, the hook and ladder is great, but I mean, how many more times can you use that? I mean, that's like it's like in COD when you have a grenade launcher, one grenade left, and you're losing on one, so you decide to pull it out. But what if as soon as you kill that one guy, there's a house with 3 guys in it? Well, you just use your grenade launcher. So we've now used our hook and ladder in 2 games that we ended up losing. So I think he's majorly on the hot seat. I don't see him staying in Buffalo if the Bills have a early playoff exit. Obviously, we don't want that though. So that's been our Hot or not, everyone, thanks for tuning in, and let's punch it.
Don, so does that mean you were a noob tube guy? Is that what I caught from that reference?
I was victim of the tube. When someone's spraying bullets, they spray the clip, they don't hit a single shot. Time to pull out the grenade launcher and shoot at his feet.
I think we were all.
Oh no! I only had one left, and now there's a house with 4 guys in it. Yeah, that's what the hook and ladder is right now for me.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I mean, it boggles my mind because it looks amazing. Like, it was so easy when we ran it yesterday for the 4th and 9. I mean, it was kind of mind-boggling. Like, it's just a perfect play. I don't know. I think it has something to do with maybe if they identify that they're in a zone. I don't know. Like, if I'm a dumbass there, but if they're in zone, they're always going to be playing just past that first down marker. Hook and ladder always effective for sure. But yeah, again, another game, like you said, Don, just like Houston, where we get a hook and ladder miracle play, but we don't get the W in the end. Had people crashing out, had some collisions. So I think we have a little bit on the line, right?
Yeah, we're gonna play the intro this time because we got a couple calls, couple texts. So let's go,
folks. It's the Trainwreck Sports Crashout line.
No good, rotten, four-flushing lowlife. I don't know who the f you are, but you have no idea what you're doing. Diddly diddly, ah, hell, diddly ding dong crap! Not the beast! Ah! Pray to the God of skinny punks that this wind doesn't pick up, because I'll come over there and jam an oar up there.
Unbelievable. The bees always gets me every time.
It's a good one.
I'm not gonna lie. I think Don's camera may have had a minor crash out, but it seems to be back.
Yeah. And I gotta say, late crash out calls. Seems everyone was so stunned by yesterday's loss. No calls the night before. Usually we get like a couple calls where people might have been, a little bit, and then decide to call in. None of those. These were early morning, afternoon calls. So let's start with our old friend of the show, Mendez, first.
What's up, guys? Mendez from Albany again.
Sounds sad.
Yeah, man. I don't know. That was quite the game. It was fucking pissing sideways outside. I'm going to try to minimize my swearing, but I'm just going to go out and say that I understand everybody's getting the schematics of it. Should we or should we have not gone for the 2-point? Absolutely. You go for the knockout blow there. I mean, you go into overtime and what? And then we fucking got to track the ball down, and the defense has got to make another stop. Yeah, I know they were hot, but then you got to risk another half an hour or so of possibly another player getting it. Like, I just fucking go for the knockout blow. I think they knew what they were doing because they had the discussion, right? Okay, if we go for it, if we don't make it, we're losing, right? Yes, we know that. So I'm not mad at the play call at all. 100% you go for that. But I will say, like I said, all the schematics, you could put all this shit into it, and the defense and the offense and the coordinators and the Brady and the blah, 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 blah. But I will say it's energy, man. What the fuck? I mean, the whole fucking game, and specifically the offense, not the defense. The offense, and Josh is just sitting there pouting, like looking just down. I mean, I understand everybody has shit going on outside of work, and, it's just a lot of pressure right now with MVP and the end of the season coming to an end. It's just like a lot, but holy shit, like, you're in the game the whole time. You're only down 13 points, then you score, or you're tracking up the field. Like, where's the energy, dude? Everybody's just sitting around, moping around. Enough of that shit. I highly suggest listening to some fucking Slipknot or some Korn or some Metallica this week and the next week to get into these playoffs, because you got to get the energy going. I mean, I don't know. Time to turn the fuck up right now, because moping around ain't going to cut it. Not versus these teams that are hungry as fuck. We better be fucking starving, because it's time to fucking go. Excuse me, language. I was supposed to watch my swearing. You guys are the best.
You trust it.
Go Bills.
It's all right. We don't mind the swearing. That's what the crash out line is for. The things you can't say to other people in public. He does bring up a good point. Going to OT, you risk more injuries.
For sure. And I think he also alluded to what we were talking about with the lack of urgency. Like, that goes right towards the energy he's referring to. No one had it. the younger team, they were just hungrier. So, like Mendez said, I think your not two might be featured in a couple of these next.
Yeah. I mean, these are all short and sweet. Let's bring up the text. Short and sweet. Joe Brady needs to be fired.
There it is.
Nothing else. Yeah.
Agree or disagree, boys?
It's kind of too late for that this season.
Yeah. This is like you're about to battle like the alien force at the end of the movie, and you're like, we need to replace like the lead gunner. Like, you know, like you just wouldn't do it at this point because it would be like such a crazy maneuver. Like, he's either you're gonna be your guy and he's gonna be immortalized and he's gonna be able to like he's either gonna figure out defenses like he figured out the Steelers defense and he's gonna become immortalized on like this run, or he's gonna be the scapegoat.
Yeah, it's too late. I mean, we all, and a lot of people in Buffalo were a fan of bringing in Dable when that was on the table. It didn't happen. You don't want to let them know that you're losing faith. Kind of too late for that, and that goes to our next call.
Hey, what's going on, Trainwreck? Just want to get my thoughts in real quick. You guys need to start advocating for Joe Brady to be fired. Joe Brady should be fired. Thanks.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah, and I mean that's what the crash out line was filled with. Is I was actually surprised, as Mendez has been harder on Brady normally, and he was just kind of more on the offensive energy as a whole. So
I'm not gonna lie, that was one of my favorite Mendez calls because it wasn't like completely out there. It wasn't crazy. It was just from the heart, and you know, you could feel the pain in his voice. I feel for him. In terms of that last call, I don't think we're going to advocate for anything like that anytime soon, or else, we just don't want to be on that radar.
Yeah, I mean, I listen. I'm not against advocating for firing. I was all about Dorsey. Some people are saying Dorsey's had a smaller leash than Brady. I think Brady's done a lot better, but like I said, too late now.
Yeah, no, this is like, I mean, listen, when you're flying a plane into the sky on the runway, you reach a certain velocity where you can't you can't not take off. Yeah, and that's the point where they're at now with Joe Brady, is that they're going so as you need to get up in the air and figure it out while you're in the air, like whatever issue you're having. Like that's just how it's going to be. So
or the flip side, landing the plane. I've heard people say before the analogy of like, oh, you know, you're getting turbulence and the pilot is maybe not flying the best. Like to get someone else in, it's like, who though?
Yeah.
You know, like you just gotta cheer. You just gotta cheer for the guy that's been flying the whole time and hope he does it. Like you just gotta root for him at this point and take care of business late, you know, in the off season. We'll evaluate it. But
interesting quote. Sean McDermott just went live with reporters about 3 minutes ago. Says regarding the game against the Jets, they quote unquote want to win the game, but are still working through how to handle players, injuries, etc. And we'll know. That sounds maybe like coach speak. Maybe I was just reading it quick and saw the quotes to read a little bit much. The key story obviously being that Josh Allen was dealing with soreness last week. The update is that McDermott says, quote unquote, he's dealing with some soreness, looking like last week a little bit, but maybe in a better spot than where he was at this time last week. So he's still sore, but he's in a little bit better spot. I mean, this is plain as day. Just rest him and hopefully have him 90, 95% for the playoffs. Nobody's 100% in the NFL going into January. It's a very rare spot. So, but yeah, besides that, doesn't seem like anything too important coming out of the conference here as we kind of end our Trainwreck Today remote. I know Don's loving it. It's cozy.
Yeah, it's not bad. I do see though in this lower left corner that apparently I'm running low on bat. If we're going longer, I might have to switch out a battery. I thought that was maybe something on my microphone, but nope.
No, you're screwed, buddy.
Yeah.
No, you're not screwed. You're just screwed if you're not following Herd of Buffalo or Trainwreck Sports for all the amazing stuff and all the action that's to come in the coming weeks. Bills defense since Thanksgiving, third in total defense and first in pass defense, by the way. Just got that update from Dan Orlovsky. So defense is playing. If you believe defenses win championships, then you just need a little spark out of Allen and you're right where you need to be. So interesting. Makes me feel a little bit better, I guess.
One more thing before we sign off. Let's give the people what they want. We need a a live thumbnail screenshot for me to get each of your recordings for the thumbnail. So let's all give a quick pose.
No. Let's do the people want to see Slick's pants.
Okay. Yeah, we need proof that he's not pants.
Yeah, straight up. Okay. Oh, those could have been pulled up from the ankles. I don't even know what happened there.
No.
Going with the gray sweatpants. Going after the ladies.
All right. Thumbnail time. Who's going first?
Should we rip this for the thumbnail?
Well,
we got that straight here.
It's going to record locally, so I'll have full screen of all of us, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, let's do this one.
And then
let's
I'm
do
going to
this right here.
Photoshop it together. Okay, ready? All right, we got it.
I'm like, what is that? I'm embarrassed for all of us, but I'm also hoping that everyone is staying home and staying safe in Western New York.
Whoever tuned in at that very moment was probably so confused.
They thought their shit lagged, probably.
But it is a great move when you do the fake freeze when ask a tough question. Yeah.
Oh, we will never forget when Josh was like, "We're live."
Yeah. See, Maniac's perfect at it right now. He's actually frozen. We summoned it. Shit. Oh no. Shit.
All right, with that being
all right,
said.
he's back.
All right, folks. Make sure you're following Herd of Buffalo. Make sure you're following Trainwreck Sports. We have, let's see. Ooh, I'm carrying the 2. We have 55 hours and 43 minutes left in 2025. So if you want to get anything done, make sure you have it done. Update for Wednesday. All right, we got to shorten that explosion.
Yeah, definitely.
Update for Wednesday. We will have a best of Trainwreck today, courtesy of our friends Bruckman Media, Herd of Buffalo, putting that together for us. But that will be right around the similar time, right, Don? Same time that a usual show, noon?
Yeah. We're going to try to get it out at noon. It's a great, what Sabres play at, do they play at night or afternoon?
Sabres play at 8 p.m.
Okay, then yeah, plenty of time, yeah.
Folks, so get that on your smart TVs at your New Year's Eve parties. Check out amazing moments like our talks about Chapel Bill, when we were talking about the great scandals of all the leagues in September and October, all kinds of amazing moments. We had Josh Byrne join us live on the show in studio. So all kinds of amazing stuff to recap from these first 50 or so episodes. We're on episode 49 here.
Yeah, the clip episode, if we count it as a true episode, will be episode 50. So that's only right.
Wow.
The Gregoire episode. But a huge shout out to our team here for making all these first 49 episodes happen so far, as well as our production team behind us. Any final shout outs, boys?
Yeah, go Sabres, and tune in for what I'm calling 50 Shades of Trainwreck.
Let's go. Everyone go have a good rest of your week, a good rest of 2025, and start it with a good day now.